Hello everyone and welcome back to GG Haven. My name is Dev and today we're going to be breaking down some of the cards from set 2 of Riftbound Spiritforged. Alright, the main purpose of making this video was to see what the new leader cards are or the legend cards are in Spiritforged, kind of look at them, read through them and see what cards from the origin set you can tech into the second set called Spiritforged. So we're going to break down the legends, talk through it and see what I think could be a few tech pieces that you could use in your decks in set 2. So starting off first, let's talk about Irelia, Blade Dancer. When you choose a friendly unit, you may exhaust me and pay resource to ready it. And when you conquer, you may pay 1 to ready me. So essentially, you can give your units rush, and also, if they conquer, you can ready her and give another unit rush. So essentially, it's a very fast playing rush deck that the purple and green colors have become now, which is not something that they're used to. However, the most important thing is when you choose a friendly unit. So it's yet to be determined whether you choose it as in choose or whether you choose it with a spell or an ability or some sort of like time where you have to choose a unit. I definitely think it's the second one, but we've yet to find out. We'll see how the players in China use it. But here are some of the cards that I think could really make Irelia shine. So starting off first, we have Yasuo Windrider. The third time I move a turn, you score a point and has ganking. Pretty easy, you know, it comes in if let's say if it's on your board for one turn, it's ready now. You move it one, you then use her ability to move it again, basically because you ready it, and then the third time you can again move it with her provided you conquer with him. So the main aim is to conquer 2 battlefields with him. You could use cards such as defense to increase his might, or it's not, sorry, defense, discipline to increase his might and kind of have him jump around, and again ready him again and again to make full advantage, take full advantage of Yasuo. Moving next, we have Kayn. If I have moved twice this turn, I don't take damage. Simple, same as Yasuo. You can ready him, move him, has ganking. Plus, the second time he moves, he doesn't even take damage. So, let's say if there's an equal might combat damage or something, or a showdown where the mights are equal, you're winning that showdown, right? Because your Kayn doesn't take damage. So, something to think about how Kayn can become more efficient in the second set. Next, we have Discipline, which I talked about. Super great spell in set 1 and is just gonna get stronger in set 2. Give unit +2. Easy choose. You just choose. That is you choosing a unit, right? So give it +2. You can use Irelia's effect to ready that unit and then move it. Simply using it just like the 2 units I talked about earlier. And next, we have White Flame Protector. A huge shout out to T-Mac. We're gonna put his YouTube right here. Big shout out, and he brought this out to me. You can play White Flame Protector, give a unit +8. Give the +8 to itself. Use Irelia's ability to ready the White Flame Protector and then move it to a base or a battlefield with 16 might. That's just bonkers. So something to really think about, how the White Flame Protector can get even stronger in set 2. So if you don't have those White Flames, now might be the time to start collecting them if you plan to play Irelia. Next, let's talk about another legend. We have Azir. I am so happy to see Azir. He's one of my favorite mid lane champs. I love playing as Azir. So his ability says your sand soldiers have Weapon Master. So what we learned through the video that Riftbound devs posted, Weapon Master is basically when you play a unit that has Weapon Master, you can attach a weapon or a gear to it for free. If you want to attach gears to something that doesn't have Weapon Master, basically you have to pay a resource cost to attach it. But units that have Weapon Master, when you play them, you can attach units to them. His secondary ability says that whenever you tap, you play a 2 might Sand Soldier unit token to your base. Kind of works like Victor, but has 2 might tokens. that have Weapon Master, so it's a little bit stronger than Victor in my opinion, but depends on what cards you can tech in with it, right? But yes, you have to use an equipment this turn though. You have to use an equipment. So essentially, the ideal play would be you have a you play a Weapon Master card, or you have a Sand Soldier already. You attach an equipment to it, or you play an equipment because it's a green and yellow card, so you can play your Zanyas. Should count as a gear or equipment, and I'm using the words interchangeably here. If it's not, then you can attach one of your weapons to your Sand Soldiers and then use the ability for its full effect. So the first card that I think would be really great and is still great in set 1 is Darius Executioner. Easy. When you play me, ready me, and other friendly units have +1. It also has a Legion effect. So essentially, again, you play another card, or any card, could be an equipment card that you're attaching to your current unit. So you could attach a unit to this Darius, ready him, because you could attach it. No, it wouldn't work out. You need to attach a unit to something else, and then when you play him, because you need to get the Legion effects, you ready him, and other friendly units have +1 here. So if you play him on a battlefield, or basically move him somewhere, so strong, very strong for an aggressive push into that battlefield. Secondary card, we have obviously the Grand Stratagem, everyone's favorite. Simple, give everyone +5 units, get all your Sand Soldiers and push into that battlefield to take it over. Next, we have one of my favorite gears, Zhonya's Hourglass. You know, next time a friendly unit would die, kill this instead. So again, let's say you have an Azir. There will be an Azir champion card. And then from the video, we kind of got a look that it has Accelerate. So you kind of want to have your Sand Soldiers out, your Azir champion card, rush into that base and use your Zhonyas on the Azir champion card to basically save it, so you can do that over and over again. A little bit of tech, so keep your Zhonyas safe and sound. And then finally, we have Meditation. Simple reaction spell, you know, just draw 2. You can just exhaust one of your Sand Soldiers to draw 2. You don't have to exhaust a vital unit, right? Because Victor was blue and yellow. It didn't have the asset that comes with green spell cards. But now you have green spell cards with a legend that is similar to Victor. So you can use Meditation on one of those Sand Soldiers to rest it to draw 2 cards instead of just drawing 1. Now, my favorite champion or ADC after Azir is Draven, Glorious Executioner. When you win a combat, you draw 1. So thematic. I love that some of these cards are so thematic. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's see how we can tech out Draven. So first card, obviously Kai'Sa. When I conquer, draw 1. Just imagine the possibilities, right? You play a Kai'Sa accelerated, give her cleave, so give her +3 assault, so basically 7. She goes in, conquers a battlefield, you get 1 draw off of conquering the battlefield, and let's say there's a combat potential that occurs, or a showdown that occurs. You win that combat, you draw again for your Darius' ability, so you're getting 2 draws off of that 1 conquer. So that's why I think Kai'Sa would grow great in the Glorious Executioner deck. So all of you Kai'Sa players, including myself, if you're planning to play somewhat of a fun discard aggressive spell deck, could be the Glorious Executioner deck, so watch out for that. Next, we have Simple. Again, when I move, discard 1, draw 1. A purple staple card. I think every purple deck should run this, and I think it's only going to get better with Glorious Executioner, because let's say you have an early push with Traveling Merchant against most of the decks play a Poro out, right? And they don't try to save their Poro because they're just like, it's okay. You try to get that conquer, you are discarding 1, but then you're drawing 2 because you're drawing for Merchant and for Glorious Executioner. Moving forward, we have Fight or Flight. Simple, save your unit, right? Just move, or you move their unit. Doesn't matter. It's a purple card, it's a really good card, and I think it's gonna get way more use in the second set. And lastly, we have Darius. Yes, I have used the Kai'Sa cards. Yes, I love Kai'Sa, and yes, these are red unit cards. Don't come after me. I think Darius is going to be even better in this deck just because he comes in ready with 7 might, and if you cleave it, becomes a 10 might that turn. Easy conquer, and most of the times Darius conquers really easily in the Kai'Sa deck right now, so it'll be even easier to get that draw one off of Draven's effect, right? I'm interchangeably using Draven and Darius because they're meant to be together. So guys, save your Dariuses, save your Kai'Sas. They're gonna be coming in use in set 2. Next, we have the Battle Mistress, Sivir. When you recycle a rune, you may exhaust me to play a gold gear token exhausted. So we saw from the video that a gold gear, basically it's a one-time use. It works like seals, but you rest it to add a resource and then it goes away. So that's what a gold gear token does. So just thinking about that, the one thing I think could work really well is Anivia, right? Because you have that extra resource now. I know Anivia is a little costly for 7 with 2 recycling costs, but because you have those gold gears now, you can basically you can use 1 recycling basically on Anivia to. So let's say how this scenario would go. You would tap 7, you would recycle 1, you would tap the Sivir to generate a gold token or a gold token card, and then you would rest that to kill it to pay for the second cost. That's how I think this card and the card operation should work. I could be totally wrong about how this works, but if that's how it works, Anivia would be amazing. And when she attacks, she deals 3 damage to all units there. So she's kind of like the Thousand-Tailed Watcher, essentially, without the acceleration, but when it attacks, it deals 3 damage to all enemy units there with 8 might. Could come in really, really clutch in some of those key matchups. Moving forward, we have Kog'Maw. Deal 4 units at my battlefield when it dies. Again, simple card. I think it's a really good one to have. Basically, one other thing, the reason why I put a Death Knell card in it, which I forgot to talk about, is Sivir's secondary ability. When 1 or more units die, ready me. So you wanna get value from your units dying. Why not use Kog'Maw to deal damage on that battlefield, ready Sivir, and then generate a gold token to play another card, right? So it's about using what pieces you have and synergize well with your legend card. Moving forward, we have Treasure Trove. So when this leaves the board, draw 1, channel 1 rune exhausted, and kill this. Simple card. I think it should be more looked at. That's why I've put it here. So please use Treasure Trove. And finally, we have the Harrowing. Play a unit from your trash, ignoring its energy cost. Again, 6 cost, 2 resources. We could use the same combo I talked about with the Anivia, where you tap 6, recycle 1 of the resources, tap your Sivir to generate a gold gear, and tap that to pay for the second resource for Harrowing. And you can play a unit from trash, play out the Anivia, and deal 3 damage to all enemy units at a battlefield if you want. Play her in the back. You could do an array of combinations. But these are the cards that I think would work well with Sivir. Again, these are just the set 1 cards. There's a lot more cards from set 2 that are going to be coming out. So please don't come after me. This is just the general idea when I was theory crafting. Next, we have Renata Glasc, Chem Baroness. So I will let you know, I wasn't playing League of Legends when Renata came out. So whenever I was playing ARAM or whatever, when Renata would come, I was like, what does she do? What does she do? Well, now I don't have to worry about it, because when you or an ally hold, you may exhaust me to play a gold gear token. When your score is within 3 points of the victory score, your gold adds an additional 1 tap. So basically, she does Darius's ability, as well as Darius the Legend, as well as Sivir's ability when your opponent is basically close to winning. So basically, it helps you catch up faster to that 8 points or 11 points if you're playing a larger people game. But the cards that I think would do well is Malzahar. So Malzahar's ability says is kill a friendly unit or gear, and that helps you add 2 resources. So hear me out. We're gonna take Chem Baroness's legend ability. when you are an ally hold, you may exhaust me to play a gold gear token exhausted. So you play it exhausted, so you can't use it this turn. Comes in exhausted, right? You play Malzahar, kill that token, and add 2 resources that one turn itself to amp up and use cards you want to play. So it's like an immediate effect of the gold gear token. That's why I think Malzahar would work very well in this deck. Next, my favorite, Thousand-Tailed Watcher. I think it's a staple for any blue deck. I think the card is so great, and it's even going to get better in set 2. Then, about Thousand-Tailed Watcher, before we walk into Fiera. When you are an ally hold, Thousand-Tailed Watcher is a really good card for holding those battlefields. That's another reason why I wanted him here. Next, we have Fiora, another card that is really annoying to get off the board once she becomes mighty. Right? She gets deflect, she gets ganking and shield, and that's why I think she would be really good for those hold positions. And finally, everyone's favorite, Shen jumping to the rescue. Reaction, jump straight out of your hand to protect any of these units. Again, helping with holding to generate those gold gear tokens so you can use them in the following turn. That's what I think would work really well with Renata Glasc. So I hope you guys enjoyed those little techs. I think there's a lot more you can do with all of the cards, but this is what I had time to do. But before we close the video, let's talk about some of the other cards that were revealed a little more. So starting with first, we have Lucian, who has Weapon Master. So we talked about earlier, when you play me, you may equip one of your equipment to me for free. So essentially you need to pay a resource cost to attach equipment, but if a unit has Weapon Master, you can essentially just attach it, even if I didn't realize that, even if it's already attached. Oh, you can attach an attached equipment to it. Very, very cool. I didn't even notice that until now while making the video. And then the first time I conquer each turn, ready me. So super aggressive, fast Lucian would help in easy conquering. And we also got a new Draven. When I win a combat, play a gold gear token exhausted. Again, we talked about gold gear, super strong, add a resource. So essentially, this is a really good card for those for you to ramp up a lot. When I attack or defend, you may pay a resource. If you do, give me +2 this turn. Again, bumping him up. You can use your gold gears if you have them to do this, because again, you're adding or you're basically paying a recycling cost. Next, let's talk about some of these equipments that people have been talking about all over Reddit and the internet. First, we have Spinning Axe, which is a signature gear. This is the first ever signature gear. We've seen signature spells, signature unit, and this is our first ever signature gear. Quick draw, so it has a reaction. When you play it, you attach to a unit you control. So it basically works like a reaction spell, but quick draw is basically you can immediately whip it out and attach it to your unit. So that's what this is good for. Equip, and then once if this is unattached, kill it at the start of its controller's beginning phase before scoring. So essentially you attach the Spinning Axe, give it the +3, get a position, get a battlefield, get a conquering point, and then it goes away at the end of the turn. So it's a pretty quick draw. No, I'm just kidding. But that's what the card is good for. It's Draven signature, so you definitely will be needing to run it in the Draven deck. Next, we have Swell Songer. We'll get used to it. As this is attached to a unit, copy that unit's text to this equipment's effect text for as long as it is attached to it. You don't have to be new at Riftbound, or even if you've played any other card game, you know how strong the cards that copy other cards' effects are. You could literally copy Ahri's effect to get 2 points from scoring. You could copy Yasuo's effect. You could copy so many characters' effect. Blitzcrank's effect to basically pull 2 characters, I think. If I think that could work, I hope it can. But you could do a lot more effects, right? So I think anytime you can copy the unit's text to an equip to something, it's so powerful. So I cannot wait to see what the community does with this gear or this equipment and copy whose text. Next we have Bork, or Blade of the Ruined Kin. You kill a friendly unit and you attach this, so it gives +4 might, so it is very strong for only 3 cost, right? So obviously the sacrifice you have to make is you have to kill a friendly unit, but it's a yellow card, so you have recruits in yellow, you have sand soldiers now in yellow, so it shouldn't be that hard to kill a friendly unit. So I think Bork is going to be a really good card in set 2, +4 might, attach it to make something super powerful for that conquering. Next, let's look at some of our other gears that are coming to set 2. So we have Trinity Force. Basically, when I hold, I score 1 point. Essentially Ari's effect, but in Trinity Force, gives +2 might. We have Guardian Angel, essentially Zonya's Hourglass, but now it's attached to a unit. Crazy, right? Yeah. Basically, you have if you have a Guardian Angel and Zonya's on board, your units are never dying. You can just keep them coming back and coming back and coming back. Next, we have Steric's Gate. Quick draw, when you play it, you attach it to a unit you control, gives +3 might. So, pretty cool, has quick draw. We saw this in the video. So, I think Steric's Gate is going to be a really good card. I do think 2 recycling costs is a heavy cost to pay for it. But if you have gold gear tokens to kill to use it, I think it might be worth it to save that key battlefield. Next, we have Doran Shields, everyone's favorite starting item. Basically gives +1 might and makes your unit a tank. Oh my god, so you can give it to a unit who you think you want it to die, so they can't kill your more important unit. Very smart, okay. And the other basic item, which is Longsword, basically gives +2 might, nothing crazy. There's flavor text at the bottom, but yeah, that's what Longsword does. And we've been talking about gold gear tokens a lot, and this is what the gold gear token is. Essentially, you kill this, you add resource. So basically, you're adding resource. It basically does what a Seagull does, but a one-time effect. That's what the gold token is. And we have a new thing called repeat. So essentially, there are spells that you can use twice. So here we have Feral Strength, which basically does what Discipline does. Give a unit +2 this turn, but you can repeat it as a reaction spell. So you can tap 2, I'll give this +2. Tap 2, I'll give it +2 again. So I wonder how many cards would have this repeat effect, and if the repeat cost is the same as the cost of the card. Because in this card, you can see that's 2 cost on top, but the repeat 2, essentially, that makes me think that some cards might have a lower repeat cost or a higher repeat cost. Yet to find out. But this is what was revealed recently from the devs and everything else. So I'm super excited for Spiritforged. It's only been less than 2 weeks since the first set came out here in NA, and Nexus Nights are going from anywhere between 30 to 64 player Nexus Nights. In 2 weeks, we're gonna have our first ever summoner skirmishes all across NA, and I cannot wait to see those lists, showcase those lists, and battle it out with other players. I want to give huge thanks to every member of the Haven team for giving me idea for this video, talking about different cards, 8-tier, blank, squeegee, and also a huge shout out to T-Mac for helping me figure out how to do this video and essentially telling me what cards could actually work well with the legends. So huge shout out to everyone, check them out, everything will be in the description below. And for everything Riftbound and TCG, stick to GG Haven. Like, comment, and subscribe.